Welcome to our Lego room update. It's been quite a while since our last update. It seems to be a thing for us. In the meantime, we've had quite a bit of snow, which was absolutely lovely. I've had a bit of an injury myself, so I've been out of action. I haven't been able to get in here too much. Haven't been able to walk for quite a while. So it's kind of nice to get in here, be able to stand up for a bit and give an update for everyone on what we're doing in here. So we'll start back over this side. I'm just going to work our way around, I think. So since the last video, we've built this Animal Crossing area for my youngest son. We only have a few of the older sets. We don't have the new ones yet. He'll have to probably wait till Christmas time to get those. So what we've done here is we terraced the sections. There's actually a bit of timber underneath this. You can see at the back here how we've elevated it. And we had plenty left over of the 10 6x5x1s left over from the city. So we've used those to create those elevated areas for him. This has only been done for the past couple of weeks, so we haven't been out here too much. It's just been too cold. I haven't figured out a way to heat this room yet. Move over to here. We've built a few of the Minecraft sets. We've got a few ideas for what we're going to do to here. So we're looking at raising this section up a little bit. That way they can have a mining area underneath with the overworld. And as we move over to this section, we've got a large mountain to go in here with all the nether portals and sections in here. Just about half of these sets are from my daughter's birthday and my son's birthday that went by. We finally got around to building it. Since I've been stuck inside and unable to walk, I've had plenty of time to build sets. So we've converted this section into one of my other son's towns. He's only 5, so he gets pretty messy pretty quickly. He loves this section. Okay, so underneath we've brought some of his Duplo out. We've just started piling it in here. We're a long way from sorting those off. And he started building himself a little mining section underneath. Now originally we were going to do a Minecraft area down here, so that way we've got 2 tiered sections, but we're thinking about doing something else now. Now up top, I've got my still wrapped up cowboy layouts. We've got some enlarged versions of the Lone Ranger sets in there. I'm really excited to get this open, but I don't think we're ready for that yet. We've got some of my Star Wars sets. They need to go down the end. Right down the end here, so we're going to do a Star Wars section, so that way we can have, I've got the Death Star there, we can have it floating in the sky, and we can have a bit of a space battle going on there. Now this area here, we're looking at, I'm a big Tron fan, so we're looking at doing, opening up my Tron sets that I've got here. I've got plenty of spares left over. And as we move down, we've got all my Lord of the Rings figures that I've started putting together. And over here, we're looking at doing a Lord of the Rings scene. So I'm not quite sure which one I'm going to do yet. But at the moment, I've got my Egyptian sets still wrapped up from the move. And my Smurf sets. I've got a large Smurf village still wrapped up. Oh, and another thing we've done too is we've installed quite a bit of lighting around the room. So underneath these tables, I've installed LED strips to give a bit more visibility. And we've done the same over here as well. So underneath all these tables, there's these LED strips. We picked those up from Bunnings. These are the 10-meter rolls that I've got here. They start in the center And I've got 2 runs each side, and that just takes us down to the corners. And I've got another one at the back to go underneath the table. I haven't done this table yet, but one of my sons, he's been working on his town. He's got his roads in, and he's pinched some of my daughter's Barbie buildings from Mega Blocks. And this area's a bit of a mess. We'll just pop down the corner here first before we talk about the city. My daughter's been working on her town. She's got, sorry if I'm saying this wrong, Andrea's Mansion. I don't know a lot about the Friends, but my daughter loves them, so I've given her a part of the back section here to work with. And one of the other new additions, other than the mansion, is the new church. I think I got the plans off that for Rebrickable. So I might put that in the description. I highly recommend getting that one. It's an amazing build, amazing interior. Now, I have made some alterations to the design though. Because originally you'd had to pull off the entire top and roof to get access to play. But I just redesigned it so the top pops off. And kids can play with the interior. And you can pop the top back on when you finish playing. It's a much easier design to work with. There's just a minor alteration that had to be done to it. Okay, so I haven't had a chance to do the airport yet. Not much has happened around the back here. Well, with the exception of this area. We're starting working on the Lego elves section. All the way across. And the castle's been put back together. It had a bit of damage in the move. And while we're here, actually, this is one of those 3D models, of Gotham City, and this is what I'm using as inspiration for our city layout. And it's really useful having something like this as a reference. Obviously, when it translates to a large city, it's very, very, very different. And we've got the fairgrounds going for the kids. Got things like the crank wheels poking out the sides, so that way they can access to it. If the little boy's been pushing that bit too hard by the look of it. Oh, there we go. He's broken it. I'm going to have to fix that one. Okay, with the city itself, I'm looking at more of the transport sections of the city now. Now I've got a general layout of where I want the buildings. I'm going to work out how I'm doing the things like the highways and the railway systems. So I did a really big bricklin purchase of train tracks. And I've got a couple of boxes full underneath here of train tracks ready to go. And I picked up a few of these third-party ones for doing intersections like this, so I can maximize my space. They're pretty good. They join in fairly well with the rest of the sets, so if you ever see them around, you can get your hands on them, definitely grab them. Now, this is the new layout for the intermodal port that we're building. So what the idea for us is for the trains to come in along this line and then go out the corner underneath the building and do a loop. And this loop will then run through the city past the Ace Chemicals and then cut across and then join back up to the main road. So that way the actual freight train can do a full loop. And I'll have connections here for the cranes. So these 2 cranes here will be for lifting containers onto the train. This center lane will be where the containers are stored. And then we've got the gantry cranes. So I've only got just a mock-up of one at the moment. So I'm looking at probably 2 or 3 gantry cranes. And for the trucks, down the end here, I've got to build a little section that goes for a raised bridge. And then that cuts in across and joins to the rest of the city. So that way the train will travel underneath the actual trucks themselves. So quite a bit of work to do here. Particularly I'm trying to work out how to do from the trucks driving here and then going under to be offloaded onto the trains. So I haven't quite figured that bit out yet. I'm hoping to get some pieces off Bricklink. Not sure if I've got one sitting here still. I found these half roads with the center joins. So I've got this design. That way the crane can sit over the top and the trucks come underneath and do the unloading, so that it ends up sitting like that. I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to get the trucks back onto the main road section. So, because the other ones I found are these half ones. So I'm not sure if they're going to be any use yet. So, but who knows? I'll keep looking around and see what I can find. So they're much older. They don't quite match up on colour. It's a bit hard to see here, but they're the older grey. So it's a little bit off. And these base plates here that I'm using, these ones I picked up in Kmart Australia, and I've got a few of the other ones. So these yellowish ones with the yellow writing are from Kmart. They don't think they produce them anymore, but when they had them, I picked up a whole bunch because I knew very well I'd probably cut them or whatever, and I prefer not to do that to actual Lego base plates. But the cheap ones I don't mind cutting into for the kids and doing stuff with. So we've got a whole bunch of tracks ready to go. I've got to build a whole bunch of bridges. So the freight line will be low, and I'm thinking of single, but maybe double tracked. I'm not sure yet. Once I get the ports sorted out and the overbridge, then I can work out if I'm doing single or double tracks for the freight trains. And then I'll do an elevated line for the city. At the moment, so I picked up the latest Lego City train station set, the tall one. It's actually still inside, so I can't show you. I'm going to use part of that to hide the entryway and then have the elevated line on top of the main freight line and have it running across and on top of the freight line as it cuts through. And then that'll join up to this train station down the back here that's still wrapped up. So that'll join up to that, and then that one will join up to the airport behind it, and then cut all the way back across the city and loop back up to the underground station, which is located underneath Wayne Tower. And that's why I had that whole section raised up, because that way I can use the space underneath the city, underneath Wayne Tower as a staging area, so I'll be able to access it from the back. And that way I can get all my trains, so I've got quite a few. I think that'll be a good way of storing them and be able to switch them out and not have all the mess on the actual layout itself. Now with the highway, that's another problem I'm trying to work out as well. So I'm going to have a partially elevated section of highway that integrates back into the city. Now, the problem I've had is trying to get my hands on the new Lego road plates. They're quite hard to get. So I noticed, because the maximum you can purchase is 14 on the Lego store, and that's only when they have them in store. So what I did is I picked up these Lego base plates, road plates, from Target here in Australia. Would have been probably 2 or 3 years ago. And what I've done is I've just trimmed the edges off, and that way I can put the sidings on and make a elevated highway with them. And I managed to get myself a couple of packs of the regular roads, and that's what I've thinking I'm probably going this way because it's quite sturdy. And that way I can have it coming off the bridge here, and then that'll cut through an elevated section. Now the advantage of using this method is for an elevated highway, is it sits the same width joined together as a base plate. So I can actually have that over the top of a road and it'll match up perfectly. Certain cars and vehicles won't fit on them. I've tried. So the wider one works much better, but I think for the city, I mean, cost is going to be an issue, obviously. So, and just getting them here, it's quite hard because I live in rural Australia. And it's very, very hard to get deliveries at the best of time to turn up. So that's why I'm always scouring eBay for people who have bulk purchases. So that way I can just store huge amounts of parts. I do as many big enough bricklink orders as I possibly can, so that way I'm not trying to order too often because the postage here is just very, very expensive. So yeah, that's probably our biggest issue. I think it's for pretty much for everybody trying to collect large quantities of Lego. And the other thing we've got down the back here, so I'm going to start working. So I've got my Arkham Asylum, which is just an increased version of the older set. And you can see the Duplo underneath it at the moment. So what I did is I had my birthday and I got the Batman Shadowbox Batcave set. So my plan is to have that underneath Arkham Asylum. That's my plan. And it's going to take a bit of work, but that's on the cards. And the other thing is, I think I've been working on the Batmobile a little bit. Just getting the framing in, working out the heights, and got my new steering wheel inside it at the moment. So that's on the cards to do, and working out the plans for the back area, the large spaceship that I'm going to do. So I'm a bit of a Warhammer fan, so plans to build that at 10 meters long, right down the back here. So that's probably going to be a long-term project, but it's on the cards. So I've started collecting just ridiculous quantities of grey Lego blocks, which is really hard to do. Mostly for Grieveling though, so I'm having to collect quite a lot of small pieces while I'm doing all this other stuff in the Lego room as well. So things will happen. A lot of things have been moved into the city. A lot of things have been completed and modified, and very excited to get the train tracks going though. That's probably my freight one's the first to get going though, so we will see how long that takes on top of all the kid stuff. So but we're getting there. It's exciting to get in here and actually get to put things together with the kids, start opening all the stuff that we've got in storage. We're learning very quickly that we're running out of space very, very quickly, no matter how big this room is. So hopefully, the next video, keep on building, guys, and God bless.